Hold on, before I do that.
Let me get my dog away from me.
Oh,
Let
you
me get
good?
my dog away from me. No, don't come back. Leave me alone. Go away. Okay. That just defeated the whole purpose. Okay? I'm sorry. I'm trying.
No, you good. It ain't really picking up too much audio anyway. I just want to make sure. Okay, good. I want to make sure we ain't live. It would be cool, but for our first goal, let's record it and see what happens. And going forward. But yep. So go get it going. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Melo Morris. Thank you so much for joining me today. Got a special treat for you guys. Have a collab with my lady. She's bold and she's beautiful. Her name is Keini. How you doing today?
Hey, Mel, how are you?
Doing wonderful, wonderful. Now I want to get the promos out the way. You got some great stuff going on your own. I know you have a YouTube channel as well. I know you have a business that you got going as well. Kind of tell us about that and a little bit about yourself as well, if you would like.
Okay, there we are. There we are. So,
Okay.
my business is Aboriginal Air. Um, I'm sorry, I have a pug. It got breathing problems, so if you can hear,
It's
I get
all good.
rid of my pug. But my business is Aboriginal Air. It can be a play of words. Actually, it's a hair organic hair product company. I manufacture hair products for natural hair, natural
Awesome.
ethnic hair. Um, I came into it because I was dealing with, after wearing a relaxer for so many years, I ended up getting alopecia. And so I didn't was like, oh my God, I'm losing my hair. And a lot of women, especially African American women, we tend to start thinning and balding and a whole lot of other things. And we don't know where it's coming from. We don't understand. For one, we don't know ourselves in order to understand our hair. And so, what made me actually go off into history and start understanding what we did with our hair then. And then I was able to, in some of the methods,
man. Oh, sweet Holy Ghost. That's your wife. Let's go. I don't know, you never met you in my life, but God said the entanglement is over. I don't know. But God said you thought the healing was come through your entanglement. But God said he's getting ready to heal your marriage on tonight. Yeah, I see a red table. And you thought the healing would come through the red table. But God said the only thing that red that can heal your marriage is the blood. Go in peace.
Okay, here come Kentucky. Ken, come get Kentucky, please. Yes, please come get his son. Okay. Wait a minute. Now I can't hear you. Okay. And now I don't know why I can't hear you. This sucks. I don't know why this is doing this to us. Okay.
What about now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, was it slow on your end, or what was it doing before it went off?
It was
Was
just
it delaying?
loading.
Loading. Okay. Yeah, for doing on my end too. Did I freeze it all, or what did you see?
You went
Or just
blank.
loading? Went blank. Okay. Yeah, it did on yours too. So I mean, I got the strongest service they say they can
I
offer.
know. Me
So
too.
they taking our money,
Yeah.
messing us up. But so I don't know if you want to start over with what you were saying, but I'm gonna edit it, of course, and try to frame it correctly. But I don't know if you want to start over with what you were saying or
Okay.
not, or if you remember where
I
you
can
left
start
off.
over. Thank you. Okay. So I started Aboriginal Air. That's my company. It's a hair care and skin product line. I utilize organic ingredients in order to provide services to individuals with alopecia, individuals dealing with, say, high blood pressure, their medication, and different things like that causes the hair to dry out and break, causing it the inability to grow. And so, what I do is utilize some of the things that God left here on earth for us to use for our hair. It's called
No doubt.
and it actually works better than anything you can buy in a grocery. I mean, I'm sorry, in a beauty supply, and you're getting the ingredients from a grocery store. I teach individuals on my YouTube channel, Aboriginal Hair, or Air, if you want to call it HEIR. It's a play on words.
Oh yeah.
How to care for your hair cost efficiently, as well as proficiently. You can do a lot with the things you find in the grocery section. So if you want to check us out, follow Aboriginal Air on YouTube and all of the other social media platforms such as Twitter and Facebook and Instagram.
So awesome. So awesome. We know on this channel for sure, we definitely promote loving our natural hair and everything. So for sure, I'll be going on there myself, and I'll be telling anyone I know, anyone watching this, please go support, because that's definitely needed. That's a lot of women. That's the key reason that they wear a lot of weave and stuff. They tell me because, well, I know for sure in my family, they struggle with maintaining their natural hair and throughout the years, and then now suffer so much breakage due to perms and alopecia and stuff like that. And then we struggle with lupus, in our culture as well. So that's definitely, I admonish you for doing that. It's amazing, and I wish you nothing but the best. And I'll definitely put everything in the description box. We definitely will go and support you with that. But like I said, I called her the bold and the beautiful, because she's definitely beautiful. But look at that hat, ladies and gentlemen. And I have one as well. I just don't wear it as much because I haven't got my gun license yet. I don't want nobody testing me here in Texas. You know what I'm saying? But so I was going to ask you, to tell us yourself, because we have a topic we're going to talk about. You see it already, but we want to talk about what it means in the Black culture to be a quote unquote coon. And more often than not, that's directly related in today's day by being a Trump supporter. So, as the hat says, you are a Trump supporter. What led you to being a Trump supporter, if you don't mind me asking?
The funniest thing, people ask me that, and it's sometimes hard to articulate. But actually, I did not start off being a Donald Trump supporter. He was someone that I didn't even pay attention and kind of crept on me. And I'm going to say that when I think of my reasons for supporting him, and this is probably going to be a taboo thing to say in Black America, but I can't be concerned, was actually Obama. I was an Obama supporter. I voted for Obama twice. You could not have been. I was just as heavy and outspoken when it came to Obama. I loved Obama. You couldn't tell me nothing. Okay?
Right.
But I became to start paying attention to Donald Trump when he got up and he started saying Black America as he was running, he was campaigning. He said, Black America, look around you. What have the Democrats been doing for your communities? And when I looked around and I started to do an assessment, I couldn't name anything. I don't have anything tangible.
Yes.
And I heard, everybody, I'm not paying attention to him. But if you were to stop and pay attention and just ask yourself that question, let's stop talking about what do you have to lose. Let's just pay attention just the part of what have they done for us. We have, as a Black community, we had not been voting Republican. All of the people that have been over our communities have been Democrat, and fought to make sure that those Democratic candidates have been over our communities. But what have they been providing tangibly in order for us to continue putting them in there? See, we've given them opportunity. The problem that I'm having is when I look around and I assess, you've been there 30, 40 years. What do we have in our communities to touch?
Right.
And then I start paying attention to that. We had Obama in office for 8 long years. That was a long time. That was a lot of time to actually get a lot of things done. Right. And I start seeing Donald Trump get in office. See, since when Obama was in office, I didn't even know nothing about politics. I wasn't even paying attention. I was one of those people that kind of just ride, I rode the waves, Yeah. However, I started seeing Donald Trump get in office, and I was like, wait a minute. First, on day one, he using an executive order. I was like, what's an executive order? And so I went and Googled. I say, good executive order, you know what I'm saying? And then it told me, you don't got to go through Congress or nothing. This is a power that the president have. He don't have to get an approval of anybody. He can make stuff happen. Right. And I was, wow. Obama could have used the executive order and they didn't have to tie his hands. Because, you like, why Obama didn't do this for the Black community? And the first thing they like, because they tied his hands. They wouldn't let him do nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
So you start paying attention, like, okay, wait a minute. So Obama could have did some stuff for the Black community and he didn't need Congress's approval. So I start looking at Obama sideways. And then Donald Trump said, Obama tried to give $221 million to the Palestinians. And I was like, well, what reparations that? Because I'm waiting on my reparations. And we got the first Black president in office that's going to get a Palestinian $221 million before he leave office. But wait a minute, it was hours before we leave office. I started looking at Obama sideways. And that is actually how Donald Trump started getting my vote.
Yes.
And my support. See, I didn't vote for him. And I wish I had voted for him because guess what? I'm actually seeing something tangible for my vote. You know what I saw under Obama? I saw Black people go in Obama's office for 8 long years. And all we walked out with in our hand was pictures of celebrities grinning next to Obama. What we gonna do with your picture?
Singing Al Green and and put on concerts and all kind of stuff. I mean,
yeah, what we gonna do with the black people? That's all the black people got out of Obama was concerts. Him singing Amazing Grace and making us feel good. He did nice speeches. He looked nice. And when you really stop and think about it, all we got out of Obama was tokenism, symbolism, and imagery.
Right.
Tangibly, all we can say is, guess what president didn't have no scandals under their presidency? That's all we can come back and say after 8 years. We don't have nothing that we can say. Guess what? Guess what we got with our president? We got criminal justice reform. We cannot say that under Obama.
At all.
Under Trump, though, we can talk about Kanye and his wife, and we can call them all kind of names. But guess what? They were the spook that sat by the door. They the one that actually went into somebody's Oval Office and walked out with 200,000 free men, black women from prison or commuted sentences or expedited sentences.
Right.
But black people, go ahead.
I read about that and it was on the fence for so long, and Kim and Kanye went there and they closed the deal. You know, it was and so under Trump, when celebrities go to the office, stuff get done. You know, he actually want to know, what do you want for your community? What exactly are you wanting to accomplish? What can I do? How do you see me and view me as a president? You know, when Obama's in office, there ain't no critique being done. We just going along for a ride.
You know what Obama did when they went in Obama's office? Obama responded and said, "I'm not the black president. I'm the president of the United States of America." It's basically, that was translation for, I'm not doing nothing for black people, so don't y'all come up in here asking.
Yep.
That's what that was translation for. But we, as a black people, we can't see that. We think Obama was our friend. Obama wasn't for the black people. If you pay attention, every other president goes to, they go back to their communities after they leave office. Obama didn't go back to Chicago with the black people. Obama went to Martha's Vineyard, where it's better policed. He letting y'all act the fool and writing signs on your forehead talking about Black Lives Matter. See,
exactly.
Don't get me started on the Black Lives Matter, because
I'm already there with you. I'm there with you.
Thing that Black America can do. Why do we want them to care about us? We should be trying to separate ourselves and go on and build up our own communities, because everybody else got a community but us. We keep talking about black community, but it's really a make-believe fantasy community, because we don't have no community. You know who got the community? The Hispanics got a community. When you go in the Hispanic community, they got their own banks. They got their own car wash. They got their own car dealerships. They got restaurants. They got their own clothes, shoes companies. I mean, everything, schools, everything, grocery stores, check fashion places. Go get your car. I mean, everything you can think of in their community. They do not have to come out of their communities. We don't have it.
It's the same in Dallas. We got Hispanics, Mexicans, they got their own, but we got Asians, they got their own community. Heavy Koreans, they got, I'm talking about blocks of businesses, got Nigerian community. I'm talking about Jamaican. Everywhere you go, people, and they separate themselves from us. Ain't no question about it. We can say we with them now. They totally different than us, because they'll patronize, white people before they do us in the heartbeat, because of stereotypes. But you're 100% right. That's a powerful statement. We say black community so much, but what is our community? We so scatterbrained, and it comes down to what we're talking about here as well, why we can't come together, because anybody who tries to build up gets called a coon. Anybody who want to set a standard for the black community gets called a coon. We got your boy Snoop Dogg, who you presented this to me, and we saw what he posted, trying to get it pulled up here this past week. This picture of all the coons he believed, or several other coons. And these are people who are notorious for being, Trump supporters, but more than anything, they're voices that are trying to wake up our community, and you can call all these people, controversial people if you want, but people like Herman Cain, I mean, why would you put him on this list? Why would you put him at all? I mean, you can disagree with people's beliefs and everything, but that's the problem. That's the problem we have overall. Anytime some people like us are using our voice for something positive, we get called a coon. And you got people like Snoop who been a follower his whole life, first and foremost. You think about it. I mean, he's been a gang member. Then when we got to the rap game, he was always on the Tupac, tutelage. And I mean, everywhere you go, he's always a follower. And I feel like everything he posts, just like LeBron James and all these other guys, they just posting just to get likes. Whatever the overall narrative is of everybody else, that's what they'll post and they'll say. Just like when he went out to Gayle King for being, for what she said about Kobe. He only said that because that's what everybody else's narrative was at the moment. But as soon as everybody turned against him and said, hey, man, you went too far, then he came back and apologized. So the only reason he's able to say stuff like this, and everybody's able to say stuff like this, is because they know everybody will get on the bandwagon and agree with them.
And I totally agree with that. And I'm going to bring a whole different perspective when it comes to Snoop Dogg, people like LeBron James, and show contrast between someone like Candace Owens or someone like ourselves.
Right.
First of all, it is not in the Democrats' interest to have a person such as ourselves and Candace Owens to speak on behalf of the people. If you pay attention to Snoop Dogg, let's really pay attention how he's a benefit to the Democratic Party. One, he has taught for years and have embedded into the minds of our men, our black men and our black women, that it ain't no fun if the homies don't have none. So now you got this mindset where he done made it cool to pass the black woman around to different men. Okay?
Wow.
How is he contributing, or how has his message contributed positively to the black community in the first place? So he now become a fixture in our minds, in our culture, and how we operate.
Right.
Okay? Now you have him when you got that element to him, right? But now he's speaking out about politics with a people that he has already influenced. You know what I mean? So it's like we can't even help those people anyway if you think it's okay to pass the black woman around from man to man. And then the black woman, we can't help that if she want to get passed, if she is allowing herself to be passed from man to man. But if this is the culture and this is the way that we're being taught, this is what we're being fed. They put somebody up like Snoop Dogg and give him a lot of money to continue feeding the black community negativity.
Right.
I mean, because if we really think about it, how has Snoop Dogg done anything to build the black community? If you really want to think about it, Snoop is the coon. Snoop is the one that's keeping you down.
That's right.
Snoop is the one that is telling you to disparage our black women. He calling her bitches and hoes. Excuse me, I don't know if we can say
good. You good to go. Go ahead.
I mean, and now she calling herself that.
Right.
How we now interact with each other.
That's so true.
Notice it. That was a fad that started after Snoop Dogg. I mean, so really, to be honest, they got somebody like Snoop Dogg who feeding us what they want them to feed us. They don't want us to have nobody positive and then it's a problem that our black community can't even see that Snoop Dogg has not been a contribution to us at all. Has been keeping us down in the trenches, in the dumps. Actually,
it was 100% Snoop Dogg who made the I try not to cuss my best, but I ain't gonna stop you. The B word, he made the B word popular. He made it cool. He changed the way he says the way you say it, just like they try to do with the N word. It's the way you say it, or it's who's saying it. No, it's all the same thing. And that's why you got women supposed to be classy like Beyonce to the point saying that now. Her songs. Bragging about stupid stuff like OnlyFans and all this stuff. So it's just the criteria, 100%. The standard has been torn down, and it's primarily attributed. And I'm hearing Candace Owens and King Face talk about this today. On that, they released their video on Candace Owens' show. They were talking about music overall, talking about the how music. In her new book, she said she has a line that 40 years ago, the number one song was "My Girl" by the Temptations. You know, and the first line says, you know, I got sunshine on a cloudy day. You know, all those, you know, they may have been doing all kind of crap behind the scenes, the Temptations, but their music was presentable. Their music was uplifting. Their music was something that to bring joy, you know, to the world, bring.
But it lifted the Black woman. If you take, they wasn't talking about or disparaging the Black woman. They were actually uplifting her and saying it's okay to love the Black woman. You know, that was the representation in the music. When we listen to music fast forward, you know, 40 years, look at how the music has changed. Where now is what Snoop Dogg say? We don't love them hoes. We all so it's like, and that has been the mindset. The Black man ain't been staying in the house with the Black woman. The Democrats are preying on that. That's how they continue. That's why you keep them. A lot of our Black people keeping them in office because they think, oh, if I vote for a Republican, they're gonna take away my food stamps, my SSI check, my welfare. You know, why has the Democratic Party been able to even come to us with that? That should be an insult to our intelligence. That this all y'all have to scare us with is taking away my food stamps, and then every 4 years you got a commercial. That commercial pissed me off because they talking to Black people. You know, don't vote Republican. They're gonna take your food stamps. Your SSI. You know what I mean? And it's like, why is that the only thing they can take away from us? They get us scared to tell us not to vote for somebody. You know what I mean? What happened to why they not saying stuff like, don't vote Republican? They're gonna take your Black self-sufficiency, your college education. But you know what? They had us coming to them begging for college education every year, knowing Black people were needed college education. But guess who got in office? Guess who Mr. Racist? Donald Trump get in office, and he made college education funding permanent.
Exactly.
255 million permanent annual funding. And why didn't Obama do that? See, that's that kind of stuff I get to asking. And then you want to say, you know, Congress tired of him. But he didn't get executive order. He didn't even need Congress approval. This stuff that Obama could have did. It's like, okay, and then why we hating on Donald Trump because he doing it? It's like, how whether you hate him or you like him, why don't you use him? If you know, like me, I know that Donald Trump is doing a lot of stuff just because he want to be better than Obama. He want to say, I've been the best president that we have ever had in the whole entire time of presidencies, right? I know that that's what he want to say. So in order for him to be great, I gotta let him be great. So what you want to do for the Black community, Donald Trump? Because you know you gonna go down as the greatest if you do all of this, right? That we too stupid to go into Donald Trump's Oval Office and even say that. Because right now we got him where we got a president that's actually listening and being like, okay, what are my numbers going to be when I finish doing this? You know? So it's like, let him let numbers skyrocket while we getting stuff to build up community. So we should be like an ant. We shouldn't care what he got going on. We should just be storing our food. Building like ants do. You know, they don't care about human beings walking around them. They be in their line, okay?
Yes. That's music to my ears. I promise I just had like a heated debate with a very close family member of mine. If he watching this, he knows exactly what I'm talking to. He was so caught up in the fact that, well, Trump was against Obama, and he wanted his Social Security, and called him a Muslim and all this stuff. He called him. I said, who cares? Like, what is he doing now? You know, what is he actually doing? You know, I don't care if he's the most racist man. There ain't no proof of this. But I don't care if he is the most racist man in the world. What is he actually doing? You know, for our office.
You know what?
For our people.
white America has stuck Donald Trump's white skin, blue eyes, and blonde hair before black people and told us this your slave master if you let him win. So now black people, when every time we see him or hear him, we think the next thing getting ready to happen to us, he's finna take our SSI check welfare, gonna hang us on the tree. And I'm so sick of black people talking about how what he did to Obama. It's called politics. That's what they do.
That's
They
right.
fight each other, they try to tear each other down with whatever the information they know about each other. That has been politics.
Exactly.
Obama was playing politics for people too. I mean,
100%.
he ain't exempt from the game.
Yeah.
People gonna talk about you when you presidency. He knew that when he was going in. It's
Exactly.
like, why we stupid was supposed to be like, oh, don't you say nothing about Obama. You know what I mean? It's like I'm so sick of them and Obama. Obama make me sick. I'm tired of hearing Obama's name come
Me
out.
too.
Obama didn't even do nothing for you to even be like on the battlefield for him like this. Like he on the battlefield and he wasn't on the battlefield for you, and all he gave you was speeches. Died, bleeding and stuff for Obama, and Obama left. He had only been on Martha Vineyard.
I personally don't get it. I mean, we hang on to the stuff that don't matter. I mean, we just get, but the thing is, we've been doing it since LBJ, and honestly, JFK got killed, we know, but I believe he would have honestly did the same thing that LBJ did. We just hang on to stuff just because it feels good or make it looks good, but honestly, it's the worst thing for us, And don't get me wrong, Obama getting in office probably was the best thing I felt at that time for our country. I mean, we coming off of Bush. I mean, we get a half black man, at least half black man in office. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Who didn't shed a tear for that day for America? But after a while, it's on so many speeches you can give me before I be like, hey, bro, where the tangible things at? What we doing? And the biggest thing he did, and I believe that's a goal for Biden as well, is for LGBTQIA, whatever they are. He made rights for them, for the gay marriage, and all the rights for them and transgenders and all those things. So if those are supposed oppressed people, so you mean to tell me you can't do nothing for a larger group of oppressed people? So
Right. When you bring that up, black people go, I've been talking to black people so long about this, they get on my nerves. When you bring up that, they go, Obama couldn't just do nothing for black people. He had to do something for all of
well, LBGT, so there's such a massive group of people.
And so I'm like, but LGBT is a whole separate community. He did something for DACA. That's a whole separate community.
Yeah.
And he used his executive orders in order to do this.
Wow.
Okay. So it's like, why? And they were a unique set of people, just like black people, with a whole unique set of circumstances.
Yes.
So we know that the Jews, guess what they got under Obama? $60 million in reparations.
Wow.
And guess what? See, when I keep finding out that Obama was giving people reparations, and I didn't get no problem with Obama. My friend. And then you could have gave me some money right before you left office. You could have pushed the button and said, boom, your account. You didn't do that? Dude, bro. Yeah. I got right. Obama, right? So anyway, yeah. Obama, people have just put too much emphasis on Obama. Obama ain't did nothing for black people for us to be fighting on his behalf and yelling and screaming back and forth about somebody who's and then when you talk about Obama, the black people want to say, see, you always trying to take over a black woman, trying to bring the black man down. You know what? If y'all ain't some skipping y'all asses up to the voting polls, y'all the Coons. You hear me? Like, yes. Master gonna get us if we talk about Obama. We can't talk about Obama.
Oh, my God.
Gave us him for a gift. Our children could be president now. That kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff we doing as black people over Obama, who ain't did nothing for us.
But honestly, he didn't have to. It wasn't required for him to do anything, you know, because
Nope.
I mean, they got sufficient when he said Trayvon Martin, it could be my son. That was good enough for them.
And look, I'm gonna be the black people when you talk, and I'm gonna be their response. At least Obama said so.
And I think you're a Thomas Sotomayor fan as well as I am. But he said this other day, and it made sense. It's not the president's job to say anything about individual people that die. You know, I know some things are so polarizing it may feel like the president has to say something, but sometimes it's good to not say anything. And that's one critique I do have about our great president, Trump. Sometimes I wish he'd be a little bit more diplomatic, you know, when it comes to when and how he say some certain things, because he already got I mean, don't get me wrong. People, they going to hate him regardless of what he say. But if he can, like, I don't think it was the right time doing when all these buildings on fire in Minnesota to say we about to start shooting. Now, because I knew what he was saying, you know, when the looting started, people started shooting to protect their stuff. But everybody took that totally wrong. But so I just wish sometimes be more diplomatic.
Come across my thing and I'm gonna sick these dogs on you. Yeah. I knew. I got mad at him too about that. No, that's the wrong choice of words right now. Black people think it's them out there, and it ain't even black people. We at home watching TV. It was the Antifa. But right now, we not connected that the Antifa have actually hijacked our protest. We ain't out there burning up the buildings. We somebody else doing that. Matter of fact, they're talking about some Black Lives Matter, but black people, we don't know who Black Lives Matter is. We ain't did nothing research or nothing. All we going by is, oh, the slogan sound good. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Black Lives Matter.
I personally have denounced the organization Black Lives Matter because I went on their website and it's completely anti-Christian, which I am. I mean, anything on there is not. They hate the Western nuclear family. They basically against that. They promoting nothing but femininity, which I ain't got nothing against women at all. Of course, I love women, but they have anything masculine. They against. They talk about transgenderism. They talk about against the traditional family. But if your whole march and everything you started for, they said it started for Trayvon Martin, which is a man. The most latest time you marching is for George Floyd. So everybody you marching for is supposed to be men, but your organization don't represent me. You know, and then go ahead.
Great point. That's a great point that you bring up, because if you pay attention to how America is moving, that's why they don't like. That's why the black man, I'm specifically, do not like Donald Trump, because we have nurtured in so much feminism. The Democratic Party is the party of feminism.
That's
See,
right.
now we can't have our men that just tell the truth like it is. You gotta curb your words now. You gotta be soft spoken and polite. You can't say nothing that may offend somebody. So therefore, the truth may offend. So therefore, you can't say it. That is feminism to me.
That's
you
right.
have they telling our black men, you don't need to carry a gun to protect your family. It was the same thing when they handed us the Bible. Here, you don't need protection. This is your protection. This your shield. This your armor, and this is your put on the breastplate of salvation. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, you got a whole lot of feminism that's been bred into our community. So now you got the black men talking about we don't need a gun to protect his. So I'm gonna tell you, black man, if we end up on a tree, it's because you went up to the Democratic voting poll and you voted to take my protection away. And you said, well, we're not saying take your protection away. We saying you don't need no AK-47. Look, I don't need you telling me what type of form and how heavy of my response I need to make on somebody that just got a handgun. No. A handgun, I got a flamethrower. I'm using my flamethrower.
Yeah.
My response gonna be inappropriate. In what was it called? It not inappropriate, but it ain't gonna be a proportionate. It ain't gonna be in proportion. It's gonna be in proportion.
Right.
Okay.
That's
So
right.
I just want to break that down. So yeah, we got a lot of feminism. And see me, I'm the kind I need my gun, right? See, we got a whole lot of Democratic men that ain't gonna fight when it's time. They
Right.
gonna have behind me.
Mm.
I'm the Harriet Tubman. See, I'm trying to get them off of that Democratic plantation of thinking of dependency, where we
Right.
think, oh, don't vote for them, we gonna starve. We ain't gonna be able to eat because the Republicans gonna starve us. I'm sorry, I can't. I had to do my voice because
You good. That's what it is. That's what you
that's
sound
how
like.
when they talking.
Yeah.
Like, why are you so weak in your mind? And why
Yeah.
are you so pessimistic? It's like, gee, why you walking in pessimism? Donald
Right.
Trump ain't did nothing. The man hadn't even made it in the office yet. I start seeing Facebook posts floating around. Everybody, you better start finding you a job because your food stamps, they getting ready to be gone. Donald Trump ain't thinking about your food stamps.
Yeah.
But that was the first thing on their mind that scared them was Donald Trump to take my SSI check. And you know what that man did since he been in office? They didn't got a raise. How you get a raise? But they got one.
Golly.
Food stamps went up.
Yep. And
Cash aid, welfare went up.
yeah.
But if they hating on Donald Trump, they were scared he was taken away from. He was like, I'm not even thinking about y'all stuff.
Mm.
Me, I'm very successful with what I do. And I have to actually, the way that it happened was actually a program that Donald Trump put together in 2007 that sent my husband back to college.
Wow.
I am now a human resource manager over probably one of the top um, aerospace companies there is.
Wow.
And it was due to a program that Donald Trump put into office with his executive order. So it was like, if you were listening to him instead of hating, you would have came up too. And it's not that I'm supporting him because, oh, you got these good jobs and now you supporting Donald Trump. No.
That's what they always want to do. They always want to belittle what you do. I don't know if you saw what Angela Stanton went on Breakfast Club. No matter what she would say, every time she would say, I'm supporting him, regardless that he pardoned me, they would still say, oh, you just being loyal. You just being loyal. No, why I can't just believe in his policies or stand up for what he represents? You know, people always want to belittle you and question your morals or question your stance. You know, based on any particular thing that happens. And
same thing to them. I think, you know what, I would just be honest with you. That I think on social media, when they don't see my face, they automatically think I'm a white person talking. I am not black because I be tearing black people up. I think some of the most ignorant people when it comes to a whole lot of different stuff. Like, I don't understand. I ain't never seen nobody like this in my life. Like, why is the black community listening to people on CNN? See, I gotta think about my words because this going live.
no, you
But
good though. I was heading there actually in a minute, but go ahead.
why are we listening to CNN? They got two homosexual men
Ooh.
lusting after somebody's behind.
Yeah,
Why are we listening to them?
yeah.
We ain't got no business listening to somebody that like listening. We can't listen to their perspective. They like butt. What we gonna do with them? They can't tell me nothing. And as a black man, you ain't got no business listening to another man that like butt. And remember when Pete Buttigieg was my mama called him Mayor Butt. I'm gonna call him Butt. Okay.
Yeah.
What we gonna do with him? See, I'm not going to war for somebody with the last name Butt from South Bend.
South Bend.
I'm not going to war for him because the other countries they gonna talk about us. They already think we weak. They already think we weak because Obama got his butt in there for 8 years, promoted and went around the world promoting gay rights. You know that when he got to Africa cut his mic off because they told him when he came, they said, "Don't you get up here with that gay stuff." And soon as Obama started trying to talk about it, they came grab my that microphone. Obama here was like, "Thank you very much for your participation." You know, they set him down. You know, the people was in the street. You can actually Google this. The people were in the street, the news articles where the people were in the street saying, "Don't come over here. We don't want that Michelle, and Obama over." That's what they was chanting in the street. He still went over there and tried to do it.
Yeah.
So that's that kind of stuff. See what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff the first black president did. He got up, and that's what he promoted for the black community was that. And you know what? We have to look at this. The Democratic Party has been the most detrimental party ever. First of all, we have abortion. They done told our black women, "You got the right to an abortion. This equality." Girl, it's the black woman. She is the parasite within the black community because she's the one having abortions. It's the black woman that's raising the LGBTQ child. It ain't the black man. The black man, I don't know, he ain't in the home. We gotta blame the black man because he's not in the home. He's not in the. But and then you got the black woman raising that child. She's telling him it's okay for you to be this way. And then if you pay attention, you got the black woman now raising the male child. She growing his hair. She's putting him, maybe she braiding his hair like a girl. She doing everything. You gotta fix the girl hair every day. You know, you see me when my son turned 1, I couldn't wait to cut that nappy stuff off. So he could look like a male child. You hear me? Because I was proud that I had a male child that I brought forth into the world. You hear me? Because that's a king. I wanted him to have the stature of a man. I didn't want nothing to resemble a woman. I had to go off on somebody because my son was playing football. You know, you got ways of the devil sneak in that spirit. They like my mama, he's like, "Mama, can I get these pink gloves?" I'm like, "Wait a minute, what month is this? This ain't October. This July. You know, wear it on, Breast Cancer Awareness Day.
Right.
That's it. That's in October.
Right.
So he, and the girl had the nerve to tell me. I said, "Go find you a blue, black, or gray glove or whatever, and then we're gonna be all right." Him, he can't get it. I'm just saying, let's put this in perspective. The lady at the cash register she the mama, gonna tell my son, "You can have a pink one if you want to. There is nothing wrong with pink." I let that lady have it. I was screaming to the top of my lungs. We was at a Ross. "Why are you screaming?" I said, "Because I want everybody to know I'm getting ready to whoop your ass."
Okay. You're 100% on it though. But going back to Obama a little bit, and this is so true, and it's kind of, and I'm probably gonna I'm talking about this on Wednesday on my relationship video. The most couples that we look up to, the women are dominating the relationship, and Michelle and Barack are one of those. And there's a story that goes back years ago when he ran for some other office, and Michelle was like, "Don't do it," because they was in financial straits at the time. So she was like, "Don't run, don't do it." He was like, "I'm gonna do it anyway." At that point, I guess he was the alpha, So he did it and he lost, and they lost so much money. So she was about to file for divorce, So it wasn't for a preacher. I forgot. I think it was that same preacher that that they was under when he was supposed to be
hanging as soon as he made president.
Exactly. If it wasn't for him, they would they would have broke up. But I believe honestly, at that point, I think his balls was gone. I think to restore them and keep their marriage together, his balls was gone. So if you remember the joke that Chris Rock said a long time ago, and I'm sure he jumped off of it since then, but he said when The third black president. His wife ain't gonna say you president. He gonna say we. She gonna say we president. You know what I'm saying? And that was so true the whole time. Michelle, I ain't never seen her first lady talk as much. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying she definitely qualified in her own right, but I'm saying at some point allow this man to be a man. You know, so I think a lot of even stuff he probably wanted to do, he probably couldn't have done because her pushing, you know, femininity, her pushing her things she wanted to push, and I, you know, to tie it in with Jessie Smollett, she may have a heart for the LGBTQIA community. I'm just, you know, I'm speculating, but I'm just saying, you know, because apparently she had something to do with him getting off, or her people had something to do with him getting off. But for all of our relationships, and that one in particular, we gotta allow men to be men. You know, like you saying, why can't our men be men? You never saw any other first lady more popular than the president. You know, people love Michelle more than Barack. You know, and they you know what I'm saying, she's honored more now than he was. You know, people on both sides love this lady, and that's fine. But I feel like that's only because of our community. That's just my opinion. You know, I believe that's really strictly because of the black president. You didn't see no Hillary. She popular now, but people really voted for her because of Bill. You know, people don't know none of the Bush's wife's first name. You know, so I'm just saying, it's my opinion on that.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. It was just like entertainment. That was how they pushed Michelle. Being the first black woman in office, that was a lot of money making for a lot of people. Just her image and her likeness,
right?
Realizing that, you know, the symbolism, the symbolism, the tokenism, and the imagery in just her being the first lady, the first black first lady.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you, and this, so see, I'm a different type of person. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you. Why did she show up to Donald Trump inauguration looking like ancient mama standing next to Trump?
Yeah.
I didn't like what she had on. Her bun was messed up. I was like, where's her bun? But if you go get an old picture of ancient mama, she had on the same pattern as the ancient mama dress, the same length as the ancient mama dress.
Wow.
The color as the ancient mama dress. All she needed was the apron and the little hair
scarf.
And she would have been ancient mama.
Wow.
Cosplay or whatever you call that.
Mm-hmm. There may have been some symbolism in that. She may have been trying to do that.
Yeah, and it was like, why would you go? And then did you see Melania Trump? I love me some Melania Trump, and I don't know if you can tell on my page, but I am into fashion. Okay,
yeah, I see. Yeah,
Melania Trump be 10. She 10 up the first ladies. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna ever be a first lady in office that's like dressed and more classier
at all.
That lady, they always want to bring up her past or whatever, and want to highlight. Michelle ain't did nothing that nobody else did. She just had Barack, who happened to make president. She ain't jumped through no different hoops from nobody else
at all. She done more to hurt him than help him. To be honest with you, stuff she can't keep her mouth closed. She talk too much, and that's so true. And I mean, I put Melania up with JFK wife as maybe the number one and number two.
In the fashion part.
Fashion wise, yes.
Yes, because that's it. They did have, she was real classy, but Melania, she tearing her up though. She 2020 fashion first lady, okay? Like they need a Barbie doll collection for Melania for every like thing that she dressed in. Now one time she did have on she put on a Colonel Sanders suit with a hat. Did you see that? And wait a minute, but she was in Africa with that suit on. I was like, no, the headline all over the place. I said, no. And wait a minute, that suit was the bomb and the hat too. I said, but you cannot wear that in Africa.
All right, so
I should have told you before that we could have had all these little photos and stuff.
No, I'm definitely gonna edit. I'm putting it in. I'm gonna find it. I found an article that, because there's people watching this right now saying, okay, they talking about Coons, but they may not be Coons, but why are they Trump supporters? And Trump is a known racist. That's what they saying. So I found an article here. I want to pull it up.
You know what? Why
It's
you can't
called,
talk about this?
go ahead.
They say was a racist. Oh, but what white person wasn't racist? And why we just pointing out Donald Trump being racist? He wouldn't let black people rent from his apartment buildings. What white person let black people rent from their apartment buildings? And let me tell you, if I get some apartment buildings, I'm gonna be honest. If I get me some apartment buildings, I don't want certain black people living in my apartment buildings either. So y'all come.
I say the same
thing. But let me get rich. I'm moving out the black community where the police at. Okay.
100%.
The black people is the one that's been stealing from me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Tell y'all that.
Well, yeah, and it's okay. So look at this. It said when. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. What you saying? Okay, let's say when did Donald Trump become a racist?
When did it become a racist? And it's worked by Raynard Jackson. So if there ain't no black name, I don't know what it is.
Okay. First of all, his name Raynard Jackson.
All right, so I want to skip down just a little bit in the article. It says here, you see my mouse. It says in the early 1970s, Trump and his father Fred were sued by the Department of Housing and Urban Development (HUD) for housing discrimination. The Trumps countersued and settled on entering into a consent decree, which did not include an admission of wrongdoing. So a lot of people don't put that in. They always say he got sued. They don't say that they were settled out of court and he never admitted to doing it. Secondly, it said this case was widely covered in the New York media. So that was in the 1970s. In the 1980s, Trump called for the death penalty of the Central Park 5, a small group of young Black and Hispanic men who were falsely accused of raping a woman in the famed New York City park. The 5 men served years in jail. Years later, their convictions were overturned. Now, those are two most famous things people use to say what Trump is racist, right? Right. Say Trump called for the death penalty for the men in that case, despite all the evidence pointing to their innocence. Again, this issue received massive amounts of media coverage all over the world. Now look at this. Despite this notoriety, go ahead.
Nope. I was gonna say that first of all, the people were in jail and in prison for 30 years.
Yep.
Donald Trump actually, this has been embedded. You thinking somebody been guilty? The media, the one that he's been telling us has been the most criminal to the American people because they've been lying, have told him that the men were guilty for 30 years. So in 30 years, that's what he's thinking. These people need to die. They did a horrific crime because that's what the media told them. So it's like, why we blaming Donald Trump for something that the media has embedded in his mind, just like they did for black people. They've been lying on black people since the beginning of media history. They was going to keep those black boys in prison and keep putting it in the minds that they were villains and criminals and hoodlums that did that to that black girl until some evidence came up and they had to come out with something different. But this is how they destroyed every black institution, program, and situation by putting us in the media and portraying us as criminals, thugs, and hoodlums, just like they did the Black Panther Party. We know that they've been lying on the Black Panther Party, but the same media that's been lying on us since media history, y'all sitting up looking at them and believing everything they say. Everything they say. We the fools. We the fools.
That's so true.
Anyway, and that's what happened. Donald Trump was listening to the same media that we listening to. If they don't like you, that's what they do. They go out to it. They move out to destroy you. Donald Trump is on that side now. He ain't on the same side. There's some reason for that. He obviously at war with something and some information that they don't want him to say.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just want to close it with this. It's an amazing point he made here. Despite this notoriety of those two cases, the Reverend Jesse Jackson heaped tons of effusive praise upon Donald Trump in the 1998 Rainbow Push Coalition Wall Street Project conference in New York. There is simply no way to explain away Jackson's high regard for Donald Trump. In a similar manner, the Reverend Al Sharpton cozied up to Trump, up to Trump quite a bit in the 1980s and beyond. According to the detail exposed in the National Review, they had a mutual business dealings together that seemed to be based on each of their personal agendas. They each had something that the other wanted and needed to struck deals based on this set of mutual interests. So basically, Trump helped them raise money. Not only Trump, this last sentence here, even Oprah Winfrey got in the act. She and Trump were known to have socialized together on occasion, according to the Fortune magazine. So what the man is trying to point out is, if Trump's so racist, and those two factors was such a big deal, such a part five. I think one of the guys' dad even said that he was guilty as well, if my memory serves me correctly. And then the cases with the HUD, if those two things prove his racism, and those is well known now in 2020 and 2016, I'm sure they were more even known back then. But these black celebrities the article talk about celebrities did everything they could to be around Donald Trump. Donald Trump, growing up for me, Donald Trump represent money, wealth, building, everything. Everybody talked about Trump growing up. So, and that's why everybody and their mama want to be around this man, despite those two cases.
Yes, and you looked at him like he was the guy on the Monopoly box. They just didn't call him Trump.
Exactly. So that can
my phone, Kenneth.
Oh, you good?
Give me a phone charger, please. Hurry. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, go ahead.
That can nullify pretty much anybody trying to use those two things as proving that he's racist to this day, because that's all people want to talk about, those two items. But that hasn't stopped anybody before. All it took was him to say, "I'm running for president," and for, like you said, those images from the media start pushing that he's racist. It doesn't have nothing to do with truth. It's all about they know how to placate to the black community or black people in general to play on our emotions, and it worked to perfection.
Yeah, can you bring me something to drink? Yes, you know what they did? They, as soon as he said he was running for president, then you go and get every video you can find, audio tape you can find, whatever you could in order to sway our votes to try to get us to go against him. Find out he cheated on his wife. So what? He cheated on his wife. You know what? I would rather have a president that cheated on his wife doing something for the black community than a president that was faithful to his wife and didn't do nothing.
Exactly.
And then we won't talk about how Larry Sinclair got up on he wrote a book, he had a news conference and everything else talking about he had a gay relationship with Obama, and we didn't talk about that.
It went right over there, everybody head. Yep, that's so true.
I'm drinking red. I'm gonna be voting red. Down my ballot. Do you hear me?
That's right. And I can't wait. And I didn't say this earlier. That was the night that I opened my ears to Donald Trump, because I was actually not interested in voting at all. 2016, I was sitting on my couch watching his rally, and we straight up said, "Look what the Democratic Party has done for you." And he said, "What do you have to lose?" Honestly, that struck me the most. What do you have to lose? It was nothing. I was sitting here thinking, like, what they haven't done anything. What am I losing? So that made me, at that point, I did away from Democratic Party. From that point, I didn't say I was going to commit to vote for him at that point, but it made me start opening up my eyes and start saying, okay, man, if this dude can really promise, because all Hillary took her time doing, and he killed her at the debates, but because all she kept doing was talking bad about him instead of saying what she would do. And the same thing Biden's going to do. The last thing the Democratic Party want is actual face-to-face debates with Trump and Biden.
Oh, I'm gonna laugh. So I want that to happen so bad so I can laugh. I'm gonna have my popcorn. I'm be like, I can't wait for this. But you know what? You are so right. The Democrats, that's where they lost me at. They didn't have a plan. There was no plan, no strategy, nothing laid out. You know, Donald Trump was like, look at the Democrats doing to our communities. Vote for me. I'm gonna help you with your communities. Look at your schools. Vote for me. I'm gonna help you with your schools. You know what I mean? He started breaking out. Y'all done had the Democrats in office 30-something years. Look at your community. Look at your schools. Look at your economy.
Yep.
He was like, look at your jobs. He started breaking it down. And when you start looking around, you were like, this white dude telling the truth. He got up. You know, he was the first president inauguration speech that I can remember, like Martin Luther King speech. I had a dream. His inauguration speech was the most awesome speech ever. Nobody paid attention to it. You know why? Because he didn't deliver it like Obama.
Yeah.
And you know, he stiff shirt. He delivered it with the truth. He was like, the government been riding the backs of the American people for years. It's time to cut that establishment down. Man, if they pay attention to Donald Trump, black people, Donald Trump will lead you into black self-sufficiency, and we be to cut off ourselves from white America.
That's
the problem right. We can sit up and talk about we gonna boycott and stuff, but let me tell you, black America, the boycott and not spending, that is nothing. You know why it's nothing? Because we don't own our own currency. The currency that we have, we got to get it from the white America. The white America got to give us the money to spend. You know that little $2 trillion we keep talking about we getting the $2 trillion from the white America because they own the wealth. They own oil, they own gold, they got a seat at the negotiating table around the world. You know who else got that seat? Mexico. They got their own currency. They can trade, they got trade. Black people, what do we have to trade? Nothing. Won't have nothing.
I hate how we threaten to boycott businesses that we don't even patronize, from the beginning. You know, we don't be going to most of these places, and they ain't gonna really.
We don't own nothing. We don't have our own currency. We don't have no oil. We don't have no gold. You know, all the stuff they fighting over overseas in Iraq and Russia and stuff. They fighting over military. They fighting over bombs and stuff. Black America, what bomb we got to trade? What ammunition we got? What gold do we have? What wealth do we have in order to trade with the other countries, in order to even establish ourselves? Where are we getting our money from? Where do we have, where our jobs, our income coming from, our sustainability? Right. We got to go work for the white man to get it. That's why we need to start sustaining the black community, building up the black community, building in our own businesses. Because that's the only way. And then we got to figure out some way to cut off our currency so we can have our own establishment, have a reason to trade with the other countries. Right now, we stuck.
Man, that's so true. And that brings another point up, and we can start wrapping up here. But I mean, that's the main reason that they start coming after this guy, because he went after the tariffs. He went after, the trade, all the trading with China and all the other countries. Like, he want to bring America the money. He want to bring America money back to America. But the high rollers like Oprah and what's my guy George Soros and all those people. They don't want to hear that. That's one of their main money sources and stuff. So, that's why they come at this guy so hard. That's the main reason.
Yes, definitely the main reason. And they don't want him to tell the truth. They don't want, what we know about Donald Trump is that he's brutally honest. I mean, brutally honest. They'll want him to get up there and tell the truth. And I wouldn't be surprised if his last day of office, he tell everything on his way out. Okay? Everything he knows. We're going to get a flood tweet. Okay? And I'm all here for that day. Okay? I just want y'all to know I am here for it.
That'll be a good capper on 2020. if that were to happen. I think he's gonna whoop Biden, first of all. I don't think there's a chance. I mean, around this time in 2015, they were showing Hillary was up in polls at that time, so they were thinking that Hillary gonna win, and and when it all came down, we came out. So,
after I stopped paying attention to the polls. I don't even listen to the polls no more.
Me either.
It's called the silent majority.
That's right.
Because people not talking, people voting for Donald Trump. Okay.
Yes.
And then I go all the time. I'll be in the restaurant and people be talking bad about Donald Trump. I go right in with them. Something. If I don't have my hat on, I'll be like, yeah, I can't stand Donald Trump. No, I'm getting ready to go back home. I'm voting my butt off for Donald Trump. As soon as I get my ballot, okay? And then ain't gonna be no fraud. You let them send me more than one ballot and somebody else's name. I'm gonna send that ballot. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna fill that ballot out and send it in, and it's Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Dude.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta fight fire with fire now, because they talking about these mail-in votes. You know the Democrats gonna cheat this thing. I mean, like crazy. So I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do. I'm sorry, and that's why I'm with the Coon thing too. Going back to that, I fight fire with that now. When they start calling me Coon, black people, I just call them racist. I just go,
I got a name worse than that. You know what I call them? I say y'all. I call them men. I tell them they Democrat butt broke. Buck broke. I say, yo, buck broke ass. Don't be calling me because the Democrats, the buck broke. I said that when they start asking me stuff and talking about me, I say, when did the Democrats buck break you? And they had to go around here calling people coons and stuff. That's what I be doing. That's the word. Use that word. They don't like that. They don't want you to call them buck broke.
Yeah. That's the last thing most men hate, or they try to.
Because that's what they do. They have you docile, and then they have you want to. That's their way of keeping allegiance between black people. Oh, if you wander off the plantation, you a coon. If you leave us out here on the field eating these food stamps, you a coon. See, if they don't see you like them, you a coon.
Yeah.
Why do you want me to be poor with you? Why do you want me to be worried about food stamps and SSI and Medicaid with you? I mean, why we can't be worried about how to build black self-sufficiency? Right. Why we trying to figure out how we can stay on SSI checks? I got a problem with that, Black America. And you should have a problem with that if that's all you got in your hand. And that's all you worried about. You shouldn't be worried about somebody whether somebody gonna feed you or not. You should have had your own stuff. See, that's the problem we had when we left our communities. When we decided we was gonna integrate, we decided that we had our own water. We had our own water reserves. We had our own water fountains. We could have cleaned up or whatever it was. But guess what? Here come a black person. We want to drink from the white man water fountain. They water cleaner. They water cold. And they water good. You know what I mean? Now, if you able to drink from the white man water fountain, you really doing something. You doing something good in your life. You know what I mean? So now we have this thing where if you able to drink from the white man water fountain, then you better than the rest of the other black people. See, them the coons right there. Right. See, like Snoop Dogg, he over there drinking from the white man's water fountain.
Martha Stewart.
Trying to build up our own water reserve or trying to help build up our own stuff so that we ain't gotta go to the white man's water to drink it. See, right now we don't have our own water. We gotta go and drink their water, or else we gonna die of thirst. See, that's the problem. And we ain't got people that with money like that could put into the community to build up these water reserves. They over there somewhere drinking the white man water, talking about we coons if we vote for Donald Trump, but you ain't helping nobody. Yeah. We ain't got nothing tangible we can say that Snoop Dogg did to the community besides bring the black woman down. We don't have nothing but where his apartment buildings at, where his black college fund, where all his stuff at that he could be doing for the black community. No, he ain't doing that. He's somewhere standing up there tap dancing on stage with Martha Stewart, calling everybody that's looking for self-sufficiency, calling them coons. Right. That's the coon. Anyway.
That's so true. He's done everything. He's made so many stereotypical black things a positive thing. Weed, of course, in your area, weed is legal. It's still not here, but the stigma of being high all the time and being lazy or whatever the case, the stigma is on it. I'm not saying everybody's like that.
He didn't contribute nothing good in his messages at all. We don't have nothing but how you spend a whole bunch of money, no saving. We ain't got no type of positive. We don't have no positive image from Snoop Dogg
at all.
They're letting him be the one tell us we coons if we vote for Donald Trump. I'm
That's
like,
so
dude,
crazy.
you can't tell me nothing. You get
At
your
all.
little, you the coon, your little ghetto self. Why I want somebody like Snoop Dogg having something to say to me anyway.
Exactly.
Looking like he still don't care how much money he had, he still look like he shopped at the swap meet. I mean, what am I gonna do with that? But you still, no matter how much money you got, you still look dingy.
Yeah.
Oh, for real, I'm like, what I'm gonna do with your dingy ass? Yeah.
That's so true. Somebody said it best, and I can't take credit for this at all. It said one of the biggest issues in the black community is that our young men and men overall would rather be like Snoop than be like Ben Carson. You know, I mean, the fact that we the black community just, and I think Ben Carson got to the point, he say, I don't give a care about the black community no more. And I think most conservatives get to that point where you do so much and try to save and rescue, them so much from that mentality. And this is a man who came from nothing, came literally from welfare to now a brain surgeon. I mean,
I'm always, you know what? I'm always telling them, I think we need to separate ourselves. We need to separate ourselves from the ones that want to have abortions because they not building to our population. That's we exterminating ourselves from within with the abortions. If you really think about it, it's 19 million black babies have been aborted since 1973 Roe versus Wade. On average, over 1,000 black babies are aborted each day across the nation. Black women abortion procedures make up 4 times that of white abortion procedures and any other ethnicity group across the nation.
Right. At 13%.
Right. And leaving us at a stagnant 13%. But the black woman, when you give her these statistics, she gonna respond and say, it's my right. It has been your right to exterminate us. And do you know, on average, they saying that the black woman, she having about 10 abortions in her lifetime or more. That's to one black woman. And a lot of times the black woman want to keep the baby, right? But you got the black man that's forcing her with intimidation and a whole bunch of other things in order to go get it. So he playing a factor in that too. Right. Saying, you ain't gonna get it, I'm not gonna be with you. Stuff like that.
Yeah, if you don't see the strategic nature of this, I mean, where are the Planned Parenthoods, in Dallas and every ghetto in Dallas. I mean, I can't think of none in any suburb or what we quote unquote white neighborhoods. They're not there. And then, we can search it back to Margaret Sanger. I forgot her last name. I mean, she had affiliation with the KKK, and then Angela Stanton made an amazing point when she was with the Breakfast Club, is that Trump offered Planned Parenthood millions of dollars. I think 20 million or something like that. But he said you can't allocate it towards abortions. They declined the money. So they try to come out and say that they more than for, they for life and about contraceptives and all that. No. Abortions is your money.
They have been killing the black community more than the police, more than any KKK have in our lifetimes. I mean, the police ain't killing over 1,000 people every day. Right. That's the black woman killing the black man that could be the next police officer, judge, president, any. We cutting it off before the life can even begin.
Right.
In our communities. And then on top of that, if you got the black man who some of them, they're gay, and that the AIDS and HIV rate in the black community is higher than any other ethnicity group in that facet too.
That's right.
It's like every detriment that the Democratic Party is pushing, because if you really pay attention to the Democratic Party, you're voting for a government dependency. So you got welfare, SSI, food stamps, all that stuff.
Mm.
You got gay marriage equality, equal rights to LGBT community.
Right.
You got illegal immigration. And then it's another thing whatever it is, all of them have been detrimental to our communities.
Absolutely.
They took the black man out the home because they're telling the black woman you can't get the welfare if you got the black man. If I give you welfare, you don't need the black man's portion. You know, he can't be a provider or a leader in his household because now you got something that saved you just in case he decide to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Get more if he's not there. You know, it's so many things that have broke us down as a community, and we keep putting those people back in office because we have a form of dependency to them. Yep. We think that they tearing us up and won't let us grow and get from up under their foot because we so busy stuck on, if I don't vote for them, I'm not gonna eat, and that's a sad place for someone to have you. Man. We need to get out of that.
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna give you the last word after this. The majority of conservatives I know, and it's definitely my story, conservatives and people who are voting for Trump, or people in general who just have taken the red pill, are people who've seen the absolute bottom and realize if ain't nobody gonna get me up from this but myself. It's gonna take my hard work to get up and get out of my dump, and I ain't looking for no handout, you know. So you was able to see process step by step and realize, man, anybody can do this. If I can do it, anybody can. You know, so
that is the truth. That is so true, because I didn't grow up privileged, or like I had like this whole you know, I don't know what image they get you, like I'm disconnected from Black America. No, I'm not. I'm here. I'm like black. I'm black like everybody else. So I'm experiencing the same thing. It's just that I'm choosing different directions, different methods. I am, and one of them is I am trying. I am applying myself. I'm not going to apply at McDonald's. I'm only going to apply to NASA, because that's where I said I wanted to work at. I kept applying until finally they hired me, and I was like, hey, I don't know how I got here.
That's right.
And every day I go in there, you know what I do? I be like, if they fire me today, just give me my EDD check. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm black. Yeah. So I want people to know, don't be thinking I'm doing for Donald Trump because I think I'm not black and I'm not experiencing black situations and black circumstances and things that have been happening. I know they hired me because they needed some black people on the staff. I'm not crazy. I'm telling you.
It's the reason why they won't remove the race, ethnicity on the application. It's a reason for that.
Right. So I'm like, if you apply, they're gonna hire you too. You just gotta go try, and then you can build different circumstances for yourself and your family, because now you are not making McDonald's money, you making NASA money.
That's right.
And it was only because I applied. I was not qualified. Stop going on there. I'm telling you, stop filling out your applications and saying this, I work at McDonald's. Nah, you gotta put your application. They say do you have computer experience? You be like, yeah, I got it. You ain't got no. You got computer experience. You know how you got computer experience? Because you be on social media and that's a computer. Okay, that's what you gotta do.
That's right.
You can't deny yourself. So a lot of times we're not making it because we denying our own self. We denying the power within ourselves, and that is what's separating you and everybody else from the rest of the world. It's like, I'm giving people out here; these people gonna hire me.
I don't know if you had the opportunity to see the Jeffrey Epstein documentary. I promise this is related to what you're saying. The first episode of it dedicated to this man wasn't qualified for no jobs he got, but he always manipulated his way to get a job. This man made millions. Won't qualify for nothing. And he'll get on and people figure it out. And they be like, oh, we can't let him go now. He's been here so many years.
Right? That's what I'm saying. That's what we telling black people. I'm saying stop going and apply for that and say, so what your skills only at McDonald's, okay? When you apply for that job be talking about you need a degree. I'll be like, I ain't got a degree to first. I'll be like, check, you got a master's degree? Check. Yes, I do. They're gonna ask me for they're gonna catch me without no master's degree, okay?
Yeah.
And
Just
they
need a
had
foot
to
in the door. Just need a foot in the door.
Yeah. They if they don't ask me about that master's degree, then I got a master's degree, okay?
Well, Kenan, it's been an amazing conversation. I mean, he's definitely hilarious. I know everybody's going to enjoy it. I just want to give you the open floor to anything you want to say to everybody, just to give you the last word and just anything about the topic or anything overall you want to say.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mel, for having me. It has been an absolute pleasure. I hope that everyone has enjoyed what we were talking about and kind of get a different perspective of things. And know that just because you are a Black Trump supporter, don't mean that you are a coon. We probably more pro-Black than anybody else.
That's
more
right.
You just don't see it. See, because we like Harriet Tubman, we could free more if y'all only know y'all being slaves. I'm just trying to tell you, get off that Democratic plantation. It's not for you. Pay attention to everything that it builds on. It's not for the Black man. You might say, is that the Republican Party not for the Black man? Well, it's in your benefit not to vote for none of the systems at all. Build your own system. Put into our own community, our own government system. Raise up our own politicians. Build and groom them to represent our needs. Stop putting your emphasis on the Democratic Party and waiting on them to feed you with SSI check, food stamps, and welfare. We don't need their Medicaid. We can bring up our own medical doctors and build up our own Black hospitals. Because you know what, Black people, we have it in us. We've done it before and we can do it again. And it's a new day. They can't come, and if we build up, they won't be able to come and burn down again. Stop using that old. They burnt us down every time we burned down. Stop using that. It's a new day, it's a new time, and it's different circumstances. And it's a different power in the people now. It's a difference. We gonna stand up. They can come over there and try to burn something down this time, and guess what? We're gonna turn around and we gonna turn the favor back around and then gonna burn that they stuff. See, that's how you do it. See, back then we didn't go back and burn their stuff down. We just let them burn ours. See this one? Y'all know, y'all see how our little youth is. They'll burn their immediately. Come over there and try to burn something. Come over there. So anyway, I just hope that give us a little hope.
That definitely does, man. I don't see how nobody could.
Okay.
I appreciate your time. We're gonna do this again for sure. It's amazing. We're gonna do it again for sure. And be sure everybody go check her YouTube channel out in the description box and get that her product as well. But all right, sis, we'll talk to you a little later.
All right, thanks, Mel. Bye.
All right, have a good one.